Okay then, Dan, so take a look at these two swings now. As we can see, the left-hand one was trying to do before. Again, setup is very, very good. Certainly looking in a very good athletic position. Weight now equally distributed between the feet. The issue, as we said, you get back to about halfway. Everything's looking pretty good here now, but as you start increasing that backswing length and going back further, your body weight now starts shifting towards your toe. The left arm gets very, very high. Right elbow higher than your right shoulder, causing you now to get above plane or above that red line, or as we're looking right of that red line. Problem is now the only way you can come back down to the golf ball now is very, very much steeper than we ideally want. And being a tall guy, if we start going overly steep, we're going to be really steep. So you can see now as the club now sort of levels off with your hands are very high. Golf club now still outside that red line, and that's going to really produce you swinging the club from this sort of wood line direction. The options you're going to get now are basically going to be one of two things: either the big hook you said you had on the weekend when you sort of release the club through fully, or if you hang on to it and the club's coming too far outside, you get the shank out to the right. Neither of which really ideal situation. So for me, focus now is going to be on that sort of maybe that right elbow in terms of that positioning sort of below your shoulder there. So the club going back here now nicely underneath the plane. Club at the top of the back, so you know, see your right elbow. This would be ideal. If you can get to that position, spot on. Obviously your instincts are to go a bit further because that's what you've been used to doing. So the club, as we can see, traveling a little bit beyond that green line there now, and as we travel back down now, we're kind of more on that green line, which isn't a bad spot to be. Ideally for you, just the feeling of being a bit more underneath would be preferred. But as the club starts working back down now, you can see the club now, the path working more from the inside line, much more efficient position. And the strike wise, even though we talked about missing the outside ball, if I clear that line out of the way, you can see now that your club shaft is still closest to that golf ball, indicating you have still, even though it was a reasonably good shot, the ball doesn't go on screen. You see the ball hitting the screen there nicely in balance and the outside ball not moving. You've still caught it a bit off the heel. So practice, I would suggest, with the outside golf ball there, as we said, until it becomes sort of more familiar. Obviously you feel when you're swinging the golf club, just miss that outside golf ball. When you're thinking about your swing, you're sort of thinking about turning more into that right heel, into that right hip, getting that club to a good top of the backswing position. Do this a few times over and over again to get that feel. Then when we step in the golf ball, it's simply just hit the golf ball, try and make sure that feeling of swinging the club inside that outside ball there. So I hope that makes sense, buddy. Any questions, obviously give me a shout, but I'll catch you again soon. Cheers, Dan.